Everyone, welcome back to Candid Football Conversations. With me, Rahul from SportsKhabri, and I've got Arunava Chaudhuri from Arunfoot, like always. Arunava, very interesting comments from Kalyan Chaubey, of course, regarding India's potential to host the 2034 FIFA World Cup. I mean, of course, not the entirety of it, a part of it along with Saudi Arabia. Now, on the face of it, what did you sort of make of these comments?
I first thought insane idea, but the longer I think about it, I like the idea. I mean,
Yeah.
Saudi Arabia is going to be chosen as the host of the 2034 FIFA World Cup. They are supposed to host a 48 nation, 104 match competition. And why not? In the group stages, you've got enough groups, you've got 12 groups of 4 teams each. Why not put 2 of those groups in India and let India have 12 matches of the competition? And there might be an added bonus. India plays in the FIFA World Cup. And it happens while we are alive. So what more do we want,
Yeah.
right?
No, so what is it now? I mean, of course, you got two co-hosts then. In that case, would India directly qualify, although it would organize sort of host just a portion of the tournament, a small portion, or what happens then?
I would think that sort of if there is a means and ways of India being a co-host of such a competition, and this statement was made by the AIFF president Kalyan Chaubey at the AIFF executive committee meeting in November, as a sort of India should consider. I don't know if he's spoken with FIFA. I don't know if he's spoken with the Saudis. But again, as I said, I first didn't think it was really an idea, and the longer I think about it, it would be a smart move by the AFF, because that would then give us something over the next 10 years to work on to improve the Indian national team, improve the infrastructure that we have. It would help the whole Indian football ecosystem. So therefore, it might be that push, that little push that we would need to develop, evolve Indian football to the next level.
Yeah, I know. Say even if it is a group or two that India end up hosting, of course, we're still this is a long big dream, but what would it mean for Indian football in the next 10 years? What would you see changing? I mean, particularly in infrastructure, what particulars are we looking at here?
I go back to 2017 and when India hosted the FIFA Under 17 World Cup, or also the 2022 FIFA Under 17 Women's World Cup. These two competitions have not only helped us develop, redevelop, enhance the Salt Lake Stadium training facilities in Kolkata, where even an East Bengal and a Mohun Bagan regularly train rather than at their own ground. Odisha, as a state, did a lot for hockey. Now is doing a lot for football. So there are a lot of positives in that way in regard to development, evolution of football in India, because it will also rejuvenate the kids. Especially those kids who are, let's say, between 10 and 15. That, hey, I have something to try and work towards. India will play in 2034 in a FIFA World Cup. And it would most probably also bring in a lot of investment into Indian football. It will hopefully then help to grow the ISL, the I League. It would, most probably, it's that explosion that we need in Indian football.
Yeah, again, also not only watching Indian stars in action, but then probably the younger crop of brilliant players that we see in Europe potentially playing in India. What would that mean? The Jude Bellinghams, the Jamal Musialas, Bukayo Sakas, all these guys potentially play. The buzz would be insane, wouldn't it? In India.
Just thinking about it, I think it's something that I've always felt, not today, not yesterday, but for a long time, is that if whenever India is able to play in a FIFA World Cup, it would give that boost, that explosion that Indian football needs. And 2017 is a prime example. I go back, I watched Germany, Brazil in the quarters in Kolkata. I watched Brazil, Spain in the semifinals. I watched Spain, England in the final. 3 matches, sellout crowd with 66,000. And the demands for tickets just out of Kolkata or across India was insane for those 3 matches. Just think about a full World Cup being held in India. And that is just dreaming about this. Just make me realize that it is such a potential growth factor for Indian football that if the AIFF leadership can convince FIFA, can convince the Saudis to do this sort of sub-licensing to India to say, guys, yeah, it's a win-win, I think, for India, for Indian football, for FIFA, and for world football. Of course, it's a backdoor for us because it's difficult for us to qualify via the qualification process, but it could be the explosion that Indian football would need.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, realistically looking at this, a 48 team tournament happening in Saudi Arabia, do you think that would be way too much for a country to host by itself, and then they would subsequently need a helping hand?
There could be countries in the world where I would say yes, they would need a helping hand, but the Saudis, the way they've set themselves up over the last 2 years in football, they can host a 48 nation tournament. Okay. I mean, look at Qatar, the size of Qatar. Qatar is, one sector of a large Indian city, I guess. They hosted a full World Cup with 32 teams. So these countries can host a World Cup. It's just the question of, can the AIFF convince FIFA and the Saudis to do it? Will the Saudis part a little bit of their moment of glory, let's say, of organizing this tournament? And is it a means and ways of enhancing the growth of football in India? This is not a normal, natural progression. It would be a forced thing, but it might be that moment that could transform Indian football forever.
Absolutely. I mean, it's crazy. It sort of comes out of the blue, but it would just be incredible. I mean, all of us watching these incredible matches in Indian soil would. It's still a dream, of course. I'm dreaming about it. I'm sure you are, Arunava, and yeah, it's just a dream for now. So let's wait and see how things develop and where we land up in the end. Thanks, Arunava, for this sort of short chat on these comments from Kalyan Chaubey and India's potential in hosting the 2034 FIFA World Cup, a part of it at least. But yeah, like always, guys, like and share these videos and subscribe to the channels SportsKhabri and arunfoot, and we'll be back next time. Thanks, Arunava.
Thanks, Rahul, and see you soon, everyone.